link with me as well for later?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, brilliant.
Just a second. Okay. Okay. Hello everyone. Witam wszystkich dzisiaj, którzy przybyli na nasze spotkanie. I tak, ja nazywam się Agnieszka, a ze mną jest Wendy z HZ University of Applied Sciences. To jest nasze takie pierwsze webinarowe spotkanie z uniwerkiem z Holandii. Zaraz troszkę więcej Wam opowiemy o studiach w Holandii, jak one wyglądają, no i też o samym HZ-cie. So hello Wendy. Nice to host you today. So we have several students who are willing to learn more about HZ University of Applied Sciences. So I think you may go first with your presentation, and please introduce yourself, because everyone is interested who you are actually.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead with it, and then I will also tell you in Polish the most important, the crucial things, and also have our short presentation. And if you have any questions, please ask now on chat, and we will later on we will answer the questions. Także jeżeli macie pytania, napiszcie nam teraz na czacie, my odpowiemy na nie po prezentacji krótkiej. Też jeżeli także różne pytania można zadawać i o koszty, i o same studia, jak one wyglądają, jak wygląda życie w Vlissingen, w miejscowości właśnie tam, gdzie znajduje się HZ University of Applied Sciences. Także piszcie pytania i zadawajcie je. Okay, go ahead, Wendy.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone watching right now. I'm Wendy Keza. I'm a policy advisor / account manager at the HZ University of Applied Sciences in the Netherlands. I've been working for this university for the last 3 years, but I was a student as well, just like most of you are prospective students. I was a student at the same university, and I graduated in 2012. I graduated in international business management. So that was my field of expertise. Afterwards, I went ahead and did a pre-master, but at another university. That was Tilburg University, and I did it in international management. I worked for 3 years after my graduation in a chemical company, Dow Company. It's a very international company in Zealand. And after 3 years, I was called back by the international office to come and work with them. And I was an intern during my studies at the same international office I'm now working at. So you see how diverse our studies can get you. So for today, I'll be telling you about our current situation at the HZ, how we are dealing with the coronavirus, and also tell you the various study programs we have. And I'll go deep into each study program and why choose the Netherlands and the HZ especially. So without further ado, I think, Agnieszka, that's enough about myself. Let's go to the presentation.
Okay, great. I think it would be perfect for us. So we will start.
The second slide.
Okay, so we are here.
Okay. So you may want to know how we are preparing, how HZ is preparing for this new academic year. First and foremost, we say safety first. And what does that mean? The coronavirus is an epidemic that has caught each one of us at a bay. We were not prepared for this, but we had to adjust. And because safety goes first, we decided that we have to put all the safety measures at HZ. First and foremost, HZ is located in the southwestern part of the Netherlands, and we have 2 campuses, one in Middelburg, it's a small city, and the other one is in Vlissingen. Actually, Agnieszka has visited both campuses, so she'll be able to tell you much more about that if you don't get it through the presentation, about the real campuses and what she experienced as well. So it is a coastal area. We have the most sun, I should say. We are next to the water, as you can see. Those are some of the students at the beach. So when they have their coursework, so have study programs and projects, they go to the beach. So what has Hazed done to prepare for this new academic year? First and foremost, we have put all the measures that are required. We have very small classes, and those are normally of 25 students, and they're even split more into smaller groups of 10 up to 15 groups. So it will be a combination of both online and offline courses with a special attention to our first year students. Why? Because these are students who don't know what the Hazed is all about. So we've decided we'll do a welcome to welcome them at the campus in a smaller group. Everything has been arranged. You keep a distance of 1 meter. At the entry, you first wash your hands and put some sanitization. And the standard rule is you work from home or study from home, but where classes are required to be at the campus, you are needed at the campus. In our building, like you see in this diagram, you see that there are footsteps where you enter the building and where you go out. So you have to follow the arrows. This is an exact picture from our university right now. And if you're ill or your housemate is ill at any point in time, please stay at home. We advise you to stay at home. We have a number that you'll be using to call a doctor such that they know whether they can come to your aid to make sure that when you're sick, they'll take care of that. Our assignments, group work, lab experiments, especially for the chemistry students, as I'll be talking about the other study programs, will be on campus. Why? Because chemistry has a lot of practicals. And I think Agnieszka experienced that as well because she visited the labs. They do a lot of practicals, almost, I should say like 70% of chemistry students is in the labs.
Yes, exactly. I can prove that.
Yeah.
I can speak in Polish for a second, Jess.
Okay.
Więc tak, jeśli chodzi o mnie, to ja rok temu odwiedziłam Hazard University of Applied Sciences i na pewno mogę Wam potwierdzić, że jeśli chodzi o wszystkie pracownie, jakie się znajdują, to są bardzo dobrze zagospodarowane i możecie korzystać z najnowszego sprzętu, także jest bardzo, bardzo dobry i też na samym kampusie jest dużo miejsca, więc jeżeli chodzi o salę, o tym, jak one wyglądają, to spokojnie można przeprowadzać różne ciekawe eksperymenty, zwłaszcza, że Hazard specjalizuje się raczej w ścisłych przedmiotach, w ścisłych kursach, natomiast też oczywiście są kursy biznesowe, które pewnie Was interesują. No i jeśli chodzi o sam kampus i życie studenckie, o tym pewnie Wendy powie później, ale jest bardzo, bardzo fajne takie życie studenckie, dlatego że miasteczko w Vlissingen znajduje się nad samym morzem, także po zajęciach można pójść na plażę, można pochodzić po takim miasteczku, które jest bardzo otwarte, mieszka tam sporo ludzi i jest naprawdę bardzo sympatycznie. Jeżeli lubicie takie kameralne miejsca, to Vlissingen jest naprawdę super. Okay, that's my, shall I click on?
Now, for more information, it's very important to follow the website mentioned there, www.hz.nl/en/coronavirus for the latest updates about it. So click on. So we help students to prepare for their studies. How do we do this? We are doing a personal follow-up on the applications. What does that mean? That when you send your application, it goes directly to the student administration. You know the process, applying through Studia link, it comes into our own system, and then we follow it up with a personal call, an email, and even through any kind of social media aided by the student themselves. It can be WhatsApp, it can be Facebook, it can be any kind of social media to make sure that you get all the information after your application. And then, of course, you meet and talk to HZ international students. Most of you maybe who have applied to our university would have received an email from one of our colleagues and also a follow-up from a student who is already currently at the university. And we guarantee excellent accommodation. Agnieszka visited those accommodation when she visited a university last year. And each student has a study coach. So should you encounter problems or difficulties in the particular study program you've chosen, you will have a personal study coach who will see you through whatever study difficulties you have. So the pictures you see there, one is the kind of accommodation that we have, and that is the recreation activity room in the accommodation. And they also have what they call a theater to watch movies and stuff like that. But very important is to visit an online open day. Since the coronavirus has happened, most of our open days are online. So it's very important, if you are interested in any subject, any course, be it international business, water management, chemistry, we have an online open day. Visit hz.nl/online/open day. It is there right now. If you visit this website, very important, and you need more information, talking to the coordinators, lecturers, students, please visit this important website.
Okej, jeszcze ja powiem Wam troszkę po polsku odnośnie samego zakwaterowania. Jeśli chodzi o zakwaterowanie, to ono jest przy samym kampusie, także nie trzeba daleko iść. Zakwaterowanie jest bardzo blisko i jeżeli jesteście studentami pierwszego roku, dopiero zapisujecie się na studia, to macie zagwarantowane miejsce w akademiku, więc jest to bardzo fajne i wygodne. I polecam właśnie te open day, które są online. Rok temu można było pojechać, natomiast w tym roku już niestety nie było jak, no bo przez koronawirusa niestety się to nie udało. Okay.
So why study in the Netherlands? You could be asking yourself, why should I really study in the Netherlands? So first and foremost, everybody in the Netherlands speaks English. So you won't have a barrier in language, first and foremost. And because of the small classes, it is a student-centered kind of education. So you easily access your teachers. There is no big bureaucracy or hierarchy. You know, when you're in a secondary school, getting to your teacher would be like, you know, you're scared and stuff like that. But because of the smaller classes, the student lecturer relationship is so open. You can simply walk into a lecturer's room and tell them what your problem is without too much ado. So because of that, that's a very good advantage, I think. I don't know how the education in Poland is, but I know for sure that when you come here, it will be a cultural shock for you that you can call the teachers by names. You don't say, sir, they'll even tell you, oh, please call me by my first name. That's how it goes here. The education in the Netherlands is project and problem-based. What do we mean by that? For example, you went for a lecture, you studied about business, economics, and all those kind of difficult words you don't understand. The advantage is that whatever knowledge you've gained in the class will be simplified by giving you a practical kind of problem to solve, to weigh, understand the theory you've received in class. So it is easier for you to translate all the information you've gathered theoretically into a practical kind of situation. How do I further explain that? We have, for example, in industrial engineering, students have 2 days where they go to real companies. So all the information, all the knowledge they've gained in class, they go to the real companies and apply the knowledge. So it's a hands-on kind of mentality. It's very practical. And then, of course, it's an international student experience. We have over 50 nationalities at our university. It's a medium-sized university, by the way. I forgot to mention that at the first slide, Agnieszka, because we went through it really fast. We are the second best for the last 10 years in the medium-sized university, HZ University of Applied Sciences. Second best in the whole of the Netherlands among the medium-sized universities of applied sciences. So the standards of education in the Netherlands are very high. I can assure you that 80% of all the students that leave our university get a job, even in their last year of internship, because our system is built in such a way that during your education, I'll come to it in the next slides, I guess, but that's a little bit of why actually you should study in the Netherlands. People are very friendly, and the weather is not so like it's not the coldest weather you can come across, especially in the southwest part of the Netherlands, where our university is based. We have the most sun in the second most place to have the most sun in the whole of the Netherlands, so it's not that cold.
Yes. Tak jeszcze podsumowując ten fragment, to mogę Wam powiedzieć właśnie, że jeśli chodzi o naukę w Holandii i na HZ w szczególności, to na pewno będzie to bardzo wysoki standard nauczania i nauczanie jest prowadzone w bardzo praktyczny sposób. A ponadto wszyscy bardzo dobrze mówią po angielsku, więc jeżeli chcecie się dogadać, myślicie, że może być problem z tym, żeby Was zrozumieli na ulicy, czy właśnie w supermarkecie, czy na uczelni, to nie będzie z tym problemu. W ogóle coraz więcej kursów się otwiera i myślę, że to jest bardzo, bardzo fajna też alternatywa dla studiów w innych krajach.
So just like I explained to you in the first picture, our campuses are located in Vlissingen and Middelburg. These are two coastal and tourist towns, medium sized, they're not too big. Middelburg and Vlissingen, each one of them has around 50,000 inhabitants. So that means that, for example, from your accommodation to the campus in Vlissingen, it will take you around only 10 minutes to walk or 5 minutes if you're on a bicycle. And HZ is just 5 minutes from the beach and the town center when you're in Vlissingen, because the one based in Vlissingen. And if you're from Middelburg, it will take you around 20 minutes on your bike. But we have the transportation system in the Netherlands is so brilliant. You travel by bus, but most of our students cycle really because it's so close by. You don't need the tram, you go by bus or by bike, or some students even walk to school because it's only 5 minutes. I mean, it depends on where you are. So, and as you can see on the map, it's the orange dot. We are at the coastal area, and that's why I was proudly talking about that we get the most sun, which is the truth. So don't be scared of getting cold and getting, all that. But that is the location of our two universities, two campuses. So now that brings us to why should you study at the HZ, University of Applied Sciences? First and foremost, I talked about the practice-oriented education. You get real life assignments. We invite guests by our lectures, and those guests could be from professionals. For example, we can invite somebody from Dow Chemicals is a very big company that employs most of our international students during their internship. So we invite them to talk about real life business, for example. We invite them to talk about real life chemical solutions. And each semester, we have 2 semesters of internship, which is very advantageous because you gain work experience. So that's what I talked about. You apply the theoretical knowledge into the real life experience. For example, if you learn about how to write in international business, is what I know the most because I graduated in it. If you learn how to write a business plan, when you go to a company, they ask you to apply that exact knowledge in the business when you're doing your internship there. And of course, we have a very, very diverse international students from about 50 countries. We have 100 partner universities around the globe because we have people who prefer to go to study abroad in a different country. So you can imagine you come for your 4 years at the HZ, but you will almost study in like two to three countries in that same year, in the years that you spend at the HZ. During the study abroad, the internships, you can decide to do them in the Netherlands or you go to another country for your internship. We have a network of extended companies and research centers that can help you during your studies. And we have because we are a small university, medium-sized, the environment is so friendly. Like I said, student housing is guaranteed. We have 2 student housing agencies, that is APV and Vilex, depending on which campus you're studying at. If you're studying in Vlissingen, then you go to APV. And if you're studying in Middelburg, we'll advise you to go to Vilex. but APV is also building a campus in October, very big one, close to the station, a very big one in Middleburg. So guaranteed student housing. And as I said earlier, each student has a study coach. So should you have any problems about your study, about getting along, about anything, you can always go to your study coach. And everything is so close because the towns are very small. And last but not least, like I said, HZ has been in second place, best medium universities of applied sciences, even in 2020. So the choice is easy based on those reasons.
Tak, chciałam Wam jeszcze krótko podsumować, jeśli chodzi o HZ i studia w Holandii. Że na pewno jeżeli chodzi o HZ University of Applied Sciences, to jest tam bardzo, bardzo bezpiecznie, jeśli chodzi o miasteczko Vlissingen i Middelburg, także tutaj naprawdę jest bardzo fajnie. I też jeżeli chodzi o to, jakich studentów poznacie, to naprawdę z całego świata. Z Unii Europejskiej jest bardzo, bardzo dużo studentów. Rok temu poznałam całkiem sporą grupę i duża część z nich pracuje jako student ambassadors, czyli promują uczelnie na targach zagranicznych i to jest fajna opcja, myślę, jeżeli chcecie zacząć zarabiać już na studiach, na samym początku. Wendy już wcześniej wspomniała o takiej praktycznej nauce, dlatego będziecie mieć bardzo dużo, dlatego że HZ University of Applied Sciences to jest taka uczelnia, coś w stylu politechniki. I jeśli chodzi o naukę, no to na pewno będzie to przedstawiane w taki sposób, że będzie dużo takich wykładów gościnnych, będzie pisanie na przykład biznesplanu i będziecie mogli korzystać z praktyk, które są w różnych znanych przedsiębiorstwach, także polecam. Później po prezentacji jeszcze Wam podrzucę takie linki właśnie z naszej strony internetowej odnośnie studiów w Holandii ogólnie. Jakie są plusy, jak wygląda nauka, jakie są typy uniwersytetów. Okay.
So we have 8 bachelor programs taught in English. And like I said, all our classes are small. You gain a lot of international experience. We have international business that's taught in Vlissingen, tourism management, logistics engineering in Vlissingen. Then there is industrial engineering and management that is taught in Middelburg, civil engineering in Middelburg, water management in Middelburg. Chemistry, on the other hand, is taught in Vlissingen, information and communication technologies in Middelburg, global project and change management, that is the newest of our bachelor programs, and it will be taught in Vlissingen. So the structure of the study programs, it is the same for all the above mentioned study programs taught in English that I talked about. So the timeline is like this. The first year, you get to study at the HZ. When you're admitted, you're all in the same class. You study, the first year, we get every student almost at the same level. For example, you applied for IB, you go to an IB class, you get all the students to the same level. And in that first year, at the end of it, you have to have 60 ECT credits. Those are European credits. And to be able to get what you call the propadosa. That's like a kind of certificate that certifies that you have successfully rounded the first year of your education at our university. So it's the same for everyone. You get a propadosa, and when you get it, it's a very important document for you. Should you think, oh, I want to, for example, applied sciences, I want to I'm so good at research. After your first year, you can decide to, say, okay, I'll go into research from this. And this will allow you to enter a research university. But that's the other way. Second year, you also study at the HZ. And then come your third year, this is the time you choose your specialization. So you either choose your specialization, and then you have an internship in any country of your choice. You can decide to stay in the Netherlands, or you can decide to go to any other countries, like the partner, or study abroad, have a minor in the Netherlands, or you study abroad. So the choice is yours. But the third year, that's when you do your internship or a minor in the Netherlands or abroad. It's up to you. And then The fourth year, you come back to the HZ, and the second semester, you are either in the Netherlands or you decide to have your graduation thesis in another country, abroad or in the Netherlands. It's up to you. But this is the structure of each study program that I mentioned above. Should you, just like me, when I was done with my bachelor, I decided to go for my master's. So that's when I went for my pre-master's at a different university. So that's where we put further studies or you decide to work. 80% of our students, especially those who do business, look for work. But those who do things like chemistry, water management, they decide to go further for a master's in any research university of their choice.
Okej, ja Wam jeszcze trochę opowiem po polsku odnośnie tego, jak wyglądają studia właśnie na HZ-cie. Więc tak, jeśli chodzi o pierwsze 2 lata, tak jak Wendy wspomniała, to po prostu jest to studiowanie. Też można na przykład brać udział w projektach i wtedy w projektach uniwersyteckich można sobie trochę dorobić, także to jest też fajna opcja. Trzeba się już bardziej podpytać na uniwersytecie, jakie to by były projekty i one są czasowe. Na 3. roku wybieracie specjalizację i można zrobić sobie praktyki, a na 4., na 2. semestrze można pojechać w jakieś fajne miejsce. Generalnie jest bardzo dużo partnerskich uniwersytetów, które współpracują z HZ-em i na terenie Unii Europejskiej i poza nią. Można pojechać na Filipiny, można pojechać do Australii, można pojechać do Stanów, także tych możliwości jest bardzo, bardzo dużo. No i potem, jeśli chodzi o możliwości zdobycia pracy, to z takim wykształceniem nie będziecie mieć żadnego problemu. Możecie zostać w Holandii, możecie wyjechać do innego kraju i tam zacząć pracę. Wszystko zależy od Was, natomiast na pewno będziecie mieć taką bazę, żeby bardzo fajną pracę zdobyć. Okay, we are going on.
Okay, so that brings us to admission and application system. So you apply through www.studielink.nl. You create an account, you log in, you choose, because there are various universities of applied sciences and research universities. So you apply to HZ University of Applied Sciences, that's what you select on. And then you choose the project, the program of your choice. And that's among the 8 English taught, now 9, because we have the Global and Change Management program that has just been recently added to the list. And then when you do that, you submit your documents. When you submit them, they come directly to admission office. And then you will be let know of your eligibility within 2 to 3 weeks. So what you do, you follow, it's a very simple system to follow. And I guess, Agnieszka, you help them with that, but should you have any problems with that, you can always contact our admissions office at csa@hz.nl. They will help you. We are very, very fast in responding into that.
Tak, słuchajcie, jeśli chodzi o aplikację, to odbywa się ona przez system Studielink i ten system ogólnie przejmują wszystkie holenderskie uniwersytety. I ta aplikacja jest dosyć prosta. Tam się podrzuca wszystkie dokumenty, wypełniacie swoje dane, a potem uniwersytet wysyła do Was wiadomości. I te wiadomości już przechodzą właśnie przez ten portal. I uczelnia Was informuje, czy trzeba coś dosłać, czy potrzebne są jakieś dodatkowe dokumenty i tak dalej. Także, i można maksymalnie mieć 4 wybory w Studielinku i generalnie wysłanie podania nic nie kosztuje, także też jest to fajną opcją. Okay, we may carry on, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So what are the deadlines for application? 15th of June for non-EU students. That doesn't apply to you because you're EU students. So should you want to apply, you're still open because the deadline for EU students is 15th of July. So if you're still interested, please apply. We still take applications.
Tak, jeżeli chcielibyście w tym roku jeszcze aplikować, to jak najbardziej można zaaplikować, także zachęcam.
And then of course the general requirements would be a high school diploma and an official English test of either the IELTS or the TOEFL or the Cambridge, we'll see a page. Maybe if we need more information, please see hz.nl/e for specific requirements. But Agnieszka has also uploaded
brochure.
the brochure.
Sure.
We'll show them later if anybody wants the specific parts. Yes.
Yeah. Mam dla Was broszury, także też będę mogła podesłać po webinarze. I właśnie jeśli chodzi o wymagania, to matura, same wyniki matury nie są brane pod uwagę, tylko oceny na świadectwie i IELTS będzie trzeba zdać, jest wymagany na HZ. Okay.
So what are the fees and costs to study in the Netherlands? Tuition fee for this year 2020 to 2021 for EU students, it is 2,143. And for the EU students for the first year, they get a 50% discount. So that means you'll be paying 1,000. My mathematics is not so fast, but if I do a quick calculation there, which you can all do, is you will get around 1,100 and let me see. I have to say it right, Agnieszka, right?
Yeah.
So it is 1,071.
Tak, jeżeli chodzi o tuition fee, czyli czesne jakie są, bo w Holandii są czesne studia, to dla studentów z Unii Europejskiej to jest 2143 euro rocznie, taki jest koszt na rok 2020-2021. Jeśli chodzi o pierwszy rok, to jest zniżka o całą połowę, czyli płaci się połowę tej kwoty. Jak widzicie, studenci z Unii Europejskiej mają dużo bardziej preferencyjne warunki, jeśli chodzi o czesne i też możliwa jest taka pożyczka do zaciągnięcia, jeżeli chcielibyście zaaplikować, to później podeślę Wam też taki nasz artykuł odnośnie tego, jak o tą pożyczkę się starać. Także 2143 euro to jest koszt jednego roku i na pierwszym roku płaci się połowę tej kwoty, czyli 1070.
Okay, Agnieszka, I didn't talk about the additional costs because as students, I don't know whether you talked about that, but as students, you have additional costs. And our rooms range from 240 to 500 per month for a student room. But as I said, we have our special housing agency. We make sure that all international students have the same campus. They live at the same campus. So all our first year students are guaranteed accommodation, and that you can apply for the moment you get your letter of acceptance or if your application is in process. And there comes about the living cost that is dependent on how you spend as a student. Because if you're a big spender, of course, it will go over the 250, but we are talking about the average monthly costs. And then we have the insurance. Every new student in the Netherlands has to get an insurance. The insurance per month is about 35 euro per month. And at the international office, we have a colleague of ours who helps you with applying for the insurance because most of them will be in Dutch language. So that's why we have somebody special to help you with applying for the insurance. But of course, you have to buy books, literature, there is excursion fees, and the amount is plus or minus 500 per year because there are certain study programs that go for excursions like chemistry, they do that. International business, they also do that. Tourism students also do that. So depending on your study program, you'll get the amount you're supposed to spend, but that you get the amount from the study programs themselves. So that's a rough estimate and the average of what our students spend.
Tak, jeszcze Wam zwrócę uwagę na ubezpieczenie. Ono jest potrzebne w ogóle na studiach w Holandii. Też na naszej stronie internetowej troszkę więcej jest o tym napisane, którą zaraz Wam pewne artykuły podlinkuję. Jeśli chodzi o dodatkowe koszty, to naprawdę one nie są duże. Jeśli chodzi o zakwaterowanie, jest ono dosyć tanie i też wiele materiałów edukacyjnych znajdziecie po prostu w internecie, czy można poprosić też wykładowców, żeby podsyłali, więc jeśli chodzi o jakieś książki czy artykuły naukowe, to w już dużej części można znaleźć po prostu online. No i wiadomo, trzeba zapłacić jeszcze za pokój w akademiku. Okay.
So check with our website for more information, and that's www.hz.nl/en. So let's connect. For more questions, you can send an email to study@hz.nl to Wendy, and that's me. And then Florence is one of my colleagues. There's another colleague of ours called Tudor. And if you want to have a chat with our students, it's www.hz.nl/chat. We have our student ambassadors in the different study programs. Please, they will be willing and they're always able to answer all your personal questions that we may not have answered, or tell you more about their student experiences. And then for admission, should you have any problem with your application, you send your email to csa@hz.nl. And of course, we are on social media. You can follow us on Instagram, that is hz.international. We have our HZ Prospective Student page, and we also have the HZ Facebook general one, but these ones are especially for our international students, so they're in English. And for all the other information, please check our website. That is on www.hz.nl/English. Do not hesitate to connect with us. We are always present to answer your questions at any time, any day, because our students are very active, and being a very small community with a very good network of student ambassadors, they're willing to answer your questions at any time. And if they don't have the answers at that point in time, they send an email to us and we get back to you. Or we can get it through Agnieszka, because she'll be able to explain that in your mother language.
Thank you. Jeśli chodzi o to, jak się kontaktować z HZ-em, tutaj wszystkie informacje macie. Ja bardzo Wam osobiście polecam grupę na fejsie HZ Prospective Students. Tutaj możecie się zapisać i to dotyczy wszystkich studentów, którzy są z Unii Europejskiej i chcieliby studiować po angielsku, także to jest fajna opcja. Jeżeli też macie pytania, oczywiście zaraz będziemy na nie odpowiadać na czacie, natomiast na fejsie czy na Instagramie też możecie te pytania zadawać i oczywiście przeze mnie ja też odpowiem Wam na różne rzeczy związane z HZ-em u nas na mailu, na info@globeedu.pl, a tutaj są też podane konkretne maile już do samego HZ. So when it comes to questions, I think we will go through our chat. So
and we'll answer one by one, maybe. Or
yeah, I think so. Do we have more? Okay.
So you can buy happiness, but you can click, go to.
Okay. This really looks brilliant.
Again, if you click again, Agnieszka, it will bring the final, go to the HZ. Anyway.
Okay, I think it's a brilliant idea. Okay, I think we may stop share and then we may move to our Q&A session.
Okay.
Okay, I'm coming back. Okay, we have several of our attendees. So let me see. Okay, I'm here. Just a short technical problems. So Wendy, thank you for the presentation. It was really gripping, very, very interesting. And tell us, first of all, several of our students have questions regarding combining work and study. So actually, is it possible on the first or second year to combine work and study? What kind of jobs do students have? Could you tell us more about it?
Of course. So most of our first year students, first of all, it's an individual kind of decision. Let me put it that way. Some students, I see, for example, like chemistry students, because most of their work involves lab work, they tend to concentrate on their studies in the first year. And then second year, when they've got used to the whole system, they decide to work. Most of the jobs done by our students are in restaurants. They do dishwashing jobs. They do cleaning in hotels. Some of them do serving in restaurants or hotels. Some of them work in washing clothes like in hotels as well. But in a nutshell, I should say they work in restaurants because it's a coastal area, Vlissingen. It's a coastal area and there's so many restaurants along the boulevard. So most of our students are employed in those places. And some of them are employed at at the university itself. For
Yeah, that's
example,
great.
yes, we employ first year students. We let them, do like small work, like administration work at the office. We have several student workers at our international office.
Yeah, I know, because when I visited your university, several student ambassadors also talked to me and kind of worked with me. So I think this is very interesting job, and this is a great opportunity for for new students to get to know more and to get a more proficient job to start a career. How many students ambassadors do you have at the university?
At the moment, we have 80 student ambassadors and the list grows. But to become a student ambassador, we have a criteria. So you have to send, for example, a very motivating letter. Why do you want to become a student ambassador? Because it takes a lot to become one. You know, we have a lot of events like open days, like being a buddy to a fellow student first year. So it comes with a lot of work. So that's why you have to be really motivated, and you have to also do well in your first year. All your grades have to be higher than 6.5. So we take students who are really, first of all, really motivated in their education, because it takes a lot of work to do all these side events besides that, you know?
Sure.
And student ambassadors also get opportunities, quite a lot of opportunities. They travel abroad for us. For example, if we have fairs in Poland, we travel with a student. They're the ones to represent the HZ in their country, and they speak the language. So who best can represent the university than somebody who speaks their native language? So they get the chance to travel. That also enriches their cultural background, and they get to interact with other universities. For example, we had what they call like an Instagram takeover. So it is done in the whole of the Netherlands. They choose, most of our student ambassadors have been chosen to take over the Instagram and show their university to the whole of the world or the whole of the Netherlands. And that's quite exhilarating for students who are first year. They are shy, they don't know how to go about the whole system, but because of a close network of student ambassadors, they help our students to explore and be very comfortable. It's a very tight international group, helping each other. We know all our students in the first year by name because of the personal touch we do with them. So in a nutshell, it's very easy to get a job here. At least most of our students get job. Now it's Corona, so you may imagine that the whole world has been destabilized in terms of access to different work, because places are shut down, restaurants are shut down. So you can imagine it would be a different situation. But still, now that the Corona regulations have been eased up a little bit, because now some restaurants are open, you're not allowed to sit with more than 100 to make an event of 100. So if you book your table with people 5 or 10, between 5 and 10, you have to serve them. So our students are actually working again. So it's quite easy to get a student job, I should say.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, as I told you, it's a great opportunity for students to become a student ambassador. So it's important, to tell them more about it, more about this opportunity. And also, we have a question regarding the 4th year at the bachelor's degree. So it is possible to go abroad for a semester. Could you tell us what are the exact opportunities when it comes to going abroad for a semester or for a year, for
Okay.
for the
So
exchange?
for studying abroad, we have our special office. It's also the international office, but there are colleagues who deal with internships and exchange program. Like I said, we have over 50 partner universities all over the world. So we help you find the exchange university where you'll do your minor, or we also help you in finding internships in the different countries available. If you want to go to Canada, most students go to Canada, they go to Mexico, they all over the world. So you can get all the partner universities in our brochure, the one I sent you, or on our website, but we help you in the whole process. So it's not like you look for, if you want to find your place on your own, it's also acceptable. You do that. But we really help our students to go study abroad, and it's a process that we help you with. We make sure that you do that. So you can study in any country, provided it's within our scope, because we have to have an agreement with them. Because even when you do your study abroad, for example, we have to coach you. You have a coach who will be in connection with the coordinator in that country to make sure that you get the exact points that are required for you to still pass, because you're not there just for fun. You're there also to study. Whatever you choose to study, it has to be accredited. So you need some points. For example, it's a project. Whatever you do there has to be accredited and confirmed into a mark when you come back to the Netherlands.
Okay. I see. Thank you. It's important. So also, I will pass on the brochure to our attendees.
Yes, please.
Of course. And when it comes to the courses, the vast majority of our students are interested in business
Yes.
and a business course.
Uh-huh.
So could you tell us, when it comes to internship, could you give us any examples of companies where students may do internships?
Oh my God. For example, for international business, I can tell you there's a diverse.
I see.
We have Shell, you know, Shell, the big Shell.
Of course.
Yes, we have Dow Chemicals. We have, let me see, it's a Dutch company. We have Lamb Weston. It deals with fries. We have newly started companies like You Surprise, where our students do their internships. I haven't had students doing Philips. We have Philips, we have Delta. All those are Dutch companies, and the others are international, where our international business students do their internships. I did mine at Philips. I did both my final internship, that my graduation thesis. I did it at Philips, and it was easy to find. And I also did my internship at the international office, my work placement. Because if you
Great.
remember in the presentation, I told you that you do a work placement. You have 2 semesters, study abroad or a minor, and then you have also the 2 internships. The first one is a work placement, and the final one is when you do your graduation thesis. You can decide to do it in a company in the Netherlands,
Yeah.
or you can decide to do it abroad. But that is in the 4th year. You have to be at the HZ for that.
Of course.
Does that answer your question?
I think it's
So
enough.
it is, we have, especially for international business, I can tell you, we have Dame, that's a company that deals with ships, and it's just next to the opposite the HZ. So we have a diverse vast number of companies for international business students. Those ones do not have a problem at all, I can assure you. They work like in diverse companies, big companies.
Okay, I just tell in Polish to our attendees.
Google, don't forget Google. Google is also one of the companies that employs most of our students, IB students, yes.
Great. Dobrze, jeśli chodzi o to, co zawsze pytacie i w sumie myślę, że większość z Was zainteresowanych to praktyki, jakie możecie odbyć i jaką pracę można zdobyć. Więc tak, na samym uniwersytecie, na samym HZ jak najbardziej można zdobyć pracę, można pracować jako student ambassador, ale też można zdobyć bardzo fajne praktyki, na przykład w Shellu, w Google, w holenderskich firmach, które zajmują się ogólnie różnymi statkami, dlatego że HZ University znajduje się nad morzem, więc też jeśli chodzi o przemysł taki wodny, ogólnie pojęty, to jest bardzo dużo możliwości rozwoju. Polecam Wam sobie przejrzeć dokładnie, jakie są kierunki. I takie praktyki można zdobyć, także też jest to bardzo fajna opcja. Podlinkowałam Wam teraz informacje o finansach na studiach w Holandii i o pożyczce, także warto sobie otworzyć ten link, który przesłałam. Mam nadzieję, że wszyscy widzą czat i można sobie przez ten czat przejrzeć nasze linki. A jakbyście mieli jakiekolwiek pytania jeszcze, to śmiało piszcie, zadawajcie pytania, dlatego że jeszcze możemy odpowiedzieć, także w porządku. Okay, Wendy, I think I have one more question regarding the requirement, because
Yes.
we need high school diploma to enter HZ University. And do you have any extra requirements regarding marks on the high school diploma?
No.
On the average, yeah.
No. So the education system in the Netherlands, not only the HZ, but overall in the Netherlands, they do not look so much on how much marks you got.
Yeah, sure.
You should have a sufficient, of course, so it is 6 and above, yeah, to make sure that you have a high school diploma. Especially at the HZ, we don't look at the marks, we look at your overall, is it a well-rounded, good high school diploma? For some subjects, for example, chemistry, you may need specific subjects for that, right? Sure. So you have to look at each study program. They have some specifics. But for all the 8 study programs, if you have your high school diploma with average marks, it doesn't have, we don't have like an average that you should have 10, 10, 10 or 8, 8, 8. No, you have to pass. Okay. The thing is that all the subjects have to be passed. That's sure. Very essential. But we don't say that you should have like a 7 or 8 or 9. No, you have to pass that subject. And the pass in the Netherlands is a 6 and above. Okay. So we don't look at the marks. We look at a high school diploma. You know why we do that? The first year, like I said, everybody is leveled out. Mm-hmm. You have to get 60 European credits to be able to get your propedosa. If you do not get that, you'll get what they call a negative study advice. Okay, right?
I see.
And this is where the education, so it's very easy to get into the Dutch education, but it's very difficult to stay there because staying there means getting the 60 European credits. And that's where you have to work hard and get these credits.
Yeah, I see. I understand. So the person just needs a high school diploma. However, at the university, it's kind of more difficult to stay.
Yes.
And the person has to, work hard. And
you don't relax and say, oh, it was easier to get in, so I can stay in. That's where the confusion comes about. They think, oh, it was easy to get in. Why is everything so difficult? That means we prefer that students know what they're doing. That's why we're practice oriented, right? We're very practical. You apply the knowledge. It's not just like reading a book and reproducing it. No. Do you understand what you have learned? You have learned about writing a business plan. Do you know what a business plan is actually? So that's why it's project oriented. All those projects lead to the marks finally to get those 60 European credits. And you have to have them in your foundation year, the first year. You have to have them. If you don't have them, you get a negative study advice. And if it is negative, if you haven't passed all the exams at the end of that year, they'll give you an advice. You either stay, pass them over to the second year, but the minimum you have to have is 45 ECTs to go to the second year. But even if you're in the second year, you have to make sure you get the remaining credits to get that propedosa. Because if it's not done, then they'll tell you to leave the university. So once again, I make it very clear to students, it's very easy to get in, but staying in is the most difficult part because you have a lot to do and you have to keep up with the tempo to make sure that you get it to stay in the university for the next coming years.
It's understandable for sure.
Okay.
So I tell it in Polish as well because it's a crucial thing.
Yes, very crucial.
Jeżeli chodzi o studiowanie na HZ-cie, to studia są bardzo, bardzo praktyczne i to chciałabym Wam podkreślić, dlatego że dotyczy to w sumie wszystkich uniwersytetów, z jakimi my współpracujemy. I żeby dostać się na HZ University of Applied Sciences, trzeba mieć świadectwo ukończenia liceum i zdanego IELTS-a. Jeżeli jak gdyby wymagania nie są sprecyzowane, natomiast jeśli chodzi o samo studiowanie już, to dużo pracy trzeba dosyć włożyć w same studia, natomiast same studia są bardzo, bardzo praktyczne. Będziecie się uczyć pisania biznesplanu, będziecie mieć dużo takiego teamworku, pracy w grupach i projektów, bardzo dużo różnych projektów, przede wszystkim projektów grupowych, także na pewno te studia nauczą Was tego, w jaki sposób później wejść na rynek pracy. Natomiast jeśli chodzi o same, bo często dostajemy pytania o konkretne wymagania na konkretne kierunki, one nie są tak bardzo sprecyzowane. Ważne, żeby po prostu ukończyć liceum i zdać IELTS-a i wtedy można zaaplikować, z tym, że jeśli chodzi o samo późniejsze już utrzymanie się na studiach, to na pewno trzeba po prostu pokazać, że bardzo zależy Wam na tym, aby te studia dokończyć. Okay, Wendy, I think I don't have more questions. Would you like to add anything at the end?
I would like to encourage everyone to come and apply because the deadline is on the 15th. So should they have any questions in the meantime, please do not hesitate to send an email to me. My email is w.keza@hz.nl or send it to the study program, the study email that I listed on this webinar presentation.
Yes.
That's my personal email, but a student could have a more personal question or get in touch with our student ambassadors. We are always there 24/7 to answer your questions. And if you have to apply right now, please go ahead because the deadline is on the 15th of August. Come join us at the HZ. We are more than welcome to welcome you.
Dobrze, także tak napisałam Wam też do 15 lipca jest deadline aplikacyjny. Bardzo Was zachęcamy, żeby aplikować na HZ, jeszcze zdążyć z aplikacją. Jeśli chodzi o IELTS, to jeszcze później można go dosłać. W każdym razie dziękuję Wam za to, że dzisiaj uczestniczyliście w webinarze i czekam na pytania. Jeżeli by były jeszcze na maila, to info@globedu.pl. Napiszę Wam jeszcze szybko naszego maila. Okay, Wendy, so I think that's it. And thank you very much for joining us today and, to presenting. Your presentation was very gripping and thank you for doing it with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Agnieszka. And we look forward to getting more students from you. And of course, we keep in touch about anything you need, want, and that will be helpful to get students more aware of our programs and the differences and how they can get along in the Netherlands. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you as well, and have a wonderful, the end of the week, and have the wonderful weekend. So, and we hope that we will meet maybe another time as well to promote studying abroad and the HZ University of Applied Sciences.
Thank you so much. I hope we'll get the link to the online. Will you send me the link? Okay. Thank you so much, Agnieszka. Thank you. Bye to everyone who is listening in. Thank you for the participation.